Man, I'm trying to find a good place where I can film this where there's not so much light. But I have a window there, I have a window right there. But this is the only place where I can do this like hands-free. Okay, so I don't know where to look. My camera's there, but anytime I look there, I look like I'm looking off. But if I look at myself, I also look weird. I'm gonna go for here. Or I'll just look. I'm just gonna look at myself because I don't know where else to look. Anyway, first of all, my makeup's weird because I'm testing out a new look for a cosplay, and obviously it's not going well. Anyway, we're here to talk about Iron Man. So, I announced my Iron Man, I think in December of 2018, and my plan for 2019 was to work on armor builds for the first time ever, because up to this point I've been cosplaying for 3 years, and I have mostly done like closet cosplays, or I purchase cosplays for reviews because that's what does well on my YouTube channel. So I really have always been interested in armor builds, and in my mind I could do it and it seemed really easy. And I actually tried to make an Iron Man cosplay in 2017, which was about a year after I started cosplaying. And I had it up until I moved like a couple weeks ago, and then I just had to toss it because I wasn't gonna bring it all the way to my new place. And it didn't go so well, and that's when I really learned that armor making was a process. So I decided that every quarter I would make a new cosplay. If you watched my 2019 cosplans video, then you'll know what my plan was. But essentially, I plan on being done with my Iron Man cosplay by March, and I want to have an ebook, patterns, and multiple video tutorials up by April. And it's going to be July next week. By the time you're seeing this, it's already July. And it's still not done. So the reason it's not done is because I don't know what I'm doing. No, but really, I guess, I don't know, I never realized this about myself before, but I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, which is also why I never really post on Instagram, is because I kind of use it like a professional portfolio, and I only put something like the best of like what I am able to create, picture-wise, cosplay-wise, whatever. Unless it's like mirror selfies, because you guys seem to enjoy those for some reason. But I don't know, I'm just very weird about what I post, which is why I don't post that often. And hopefully by this point I'll have posted my Iron Man cosplays, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, I'm trying to make this, I'm not editing this, so hopefully this isn't gonna be that long, but stick with me, I'm getting to the point. But hopefully you'll see my Iron Man, Iron Woman, more pictures by the time you're seeing this video. Hopefully there's a couple more out. But anyway, so in January my plan was to make the duct tape mannequin because I don't have a mannequin, and it just seemed the best way to build something specific to me. So that I did, but I only did the torso part, which was silly because I needed the whole body. It's a full body armor suit. And I started patterning, and I patterned a million times. Like if I still have the pictures, I'll put them in here, but I probably repatterned when I had the just the torso done. I probably did that 2 to 3 times. And then that was like mid-February when I started working on it, and then, or mid-January, and then in February is when, and I think it might have even been mid-February, is when I decided to go for the full armor mannequin, or the full mannequin. So I had my boyfriend help me with that, and the whole time I'm like filming all this, I'm documenting it so I can make the ebook and the video. And at this point in my head, I'm like, I can still get this video and these ebooks out by April. So I did the full mannequin, and then I started patterning it, and the same thing happened where I'm studying the pictures and I'm trying to get the details so precise, and there's just so many in the bleeding edge armor. and I probably made another like 2 patterns. So altogether I probably made 4 or 5 patterns that I was hoping to give to you guys in order for you guys to make your own suits, or at least women. But I also wanted to have the specific details so that men could use it for their own like Iron Man builds. Anyway, and then I can't remember, it must have been like late February when I started working on the actual foam aspect of it and stuff, and then that became a challenge because I was really having a hard time like grasping the concept of inward and outward like beveled cuts and stuff like that. And essentially what happened was that like if I had the money, I would redo the whole thing over again from what I've learned, but it is done. I really wanted to have it presented at MegaCon Orlando in May last month, about a month ago now actually. But and I actually finished it the morning of that I was gonna wear it. I think it was Saturday, and I put it on and I hated it, mostly because the color was so wrong. And I'll show you a video of like the color comparison now. But what I ended up doing was going out and buying, and that was a whole thing too. Like I pretty much spray painted my entire patio balcony, and I had to scrub that stuff out, or else I would have been charged for it when I moved. So, but yeah, and then I moved and I was in the middle of switching like careers to become a full-time writer and stuff. So like about a week after MegaCon, I was like hustling to get it all together. So even though my Iron Man was done, I didn't want to present it because I wanted to, I wanted to have it painted and fully done, which it's still not the best of my abilities in my opinion, but it is done now and you guys have seen it by now. But this whole video is just to explain why it took so long, and to also explain that I'm not 100% happy with it. If you guys liked it, like I really appreciate it because I worked really hard on it. It was supposed to be a 3-4 month endeavor, and it's now been nearly 7 months, really 6 months, because I didn't start till I really didn't start the foam work until like the end of February. So, but yeah, it's a learning process. As if you guys cosplay, like I'm sure you know, and especially if you worked with foam before, it's just a lot of work and it's a lot of learning. And I probably shouldn't have chosen an Iron Man build for my first armor build, but that's just, I have high expectations for myself. But yeah, I forgot what else I was gonna say. I'm kind of just rambling. Thank you for sticking around this long if you have. But yeah, that's why it took so long. And at this point I wanted to also have a Buzz Lightyear build done by now, but again, not again actually, at this point I just don't have the funds to do it, which is what this Patreon is for. So if you're here supporting me, I appreciate it. I still want to get that done at some point this year, but I really don't know when that will get done. And I also don't know what materials I want to use, because I would really, like, ultimately I would like to have it as a, what's it called? Like a 3D build, 3D printed, like instead of foam, which I don't have. But this is the struggles of a cosplayer who's trying to be a perfectionist. Like, I know the perfect way to make it. We're getting off subject. Anyway, so yeah, that's what took that particular project so long. I'm really hoping to push out a lot more now that I work from home, and now that I have a better understanding of how like foam works and how to manipulate it and cut it and stuff, and I have a better grasp on what paints I need to get and stuff like that. So my next cosplay isn't going to be an armor build, but yeah. Anyway, I'm getting off subject, but if you guys have any other questions about my Iron Woman build or the process, like there's probably a lot I didn't even mention, but again, this is just going to be a quick unedited thing because I don't have time to do any of that. But I hope you guys like the way that my Iron Woman cosplay came out, and I hope this explanation of why it took so long makes sense. But pretty much it was that I was designing it from scratch. One, I didn't have any patterns to work off of, plus I was creating patterns to help people. And then just the process of learning, time restrictions, especially with moving and changing careers and stuff like that. I'm not trying to, like, I don't feel like I owe an explanation, but I do, because I've been like amping this up for so long, and I'm mostly like disappointed in my own process and how I didn't meet my own expectations, which maybe I set them too high, but that's just how I am. So yeah, enjoy the rest of my videos this week, because I'm honestly having a ton of fun making them, even though I feel super awkward talking to a camera, even though I've been making YouTube videos for a couple years, but it's just weird. So yeah, I'm hoping like it's better this way, because there's like less people watching and only people who like really care about like what I'm doing. So all right, this video is already 11 minutes, and I really appreciate it if you stuck through my rambling by now, this long. I'm tired. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, this is just how I would normally tell stories in real life, so I seem like a lot of fun, right? All right, I'm gonna go. Bye.